Welcome everyone, my name is Molly, and welcome to the BYB Insider. And here is your host, the big guy.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the internet's #1 favorite show, cause this is the BYB Insider and I'm your host, the big guy. So here we are, kiddies. Weeks 14 and 15. The playoffs are beckoning. And the call is going to go out. Who's going to answer the call and who's going to pack it up and go on home? We're going to find that out right now as it's week 14. Here we go. And here we go. We started off with Boom Jessica White and the Six Panthers as we dive inside the Boom side. You know, it's been a long season for the Boom Boys, but they look to rebound as Julio's down by the schoolyard with 42 points. Andy Dalton with 30. You flip it around to the backside. Rob Gronkowski coming up with 22. And Graham Gano, the little punky kicker, coming up with 12. The gauntlet throw down to Larry Dameron. Could his six kiddies answer? Yes. Hello, Jordy Nelson, 34. Forte with 22. C.J. Anderson with 23, Dez chiming in with 14, lackadaisical effort by Colin Kaepernick, but you flip it around, Travis Kelce and Steven Gostkowski null that 0 from DeMarcus, and the Panthers come away victorious with a huge win, 145 to 139. We take it to the 3 and outs and the UPS. The UPS needing a win to also climb back into the playoff picture. We take it to the 3 and outside, and Mark Muncy wasn't going away without a fight. Matt Ryan with 38 points. Eddie Lacy chipping in with 27. The wide receivers, though, came up with a little lightheadedness there, but Martellus Bennett picked it up with a 26. But the defensive effort was a little light. Could the UPS boys come and answer? Yes. LaShawn with nothing but luck and a big 39-point game from A.J. Green. Edelman coming in big time, but Jared Cook, 22 points, nulls out any lackadaisical effort, and the UPS come away with that absolutely monstrous win, 142 to 130.5, and we come to the Mud Dogs and the Black Angels. The Angels in control of the 4th spot in the playoffs coming in, and could they come up with a big game? No. But Aaron Rodgers did score 33 points, and you flip it around to the defensive side, and it got no better. Hello, nobody. Nobody coming to the call for the Angels. They didn't show up. Could Tommy Quick pull the upset bug out of the hat? And in a word, yes. Russell Wilson, 32 points. DeMarco Murray with 36 more. You flip it around to the defensive side, and we find one, Greg Olsen, with 23 points. And the Mud Dogs come up with the dagger as they send the Angels to a heartbreaking loss, 133 to 91.5. As we're moving on, the Cobra Kai's in the Pound Town. Cobra Kai looking for yet another victory to try to keep pace with the top tier. But when you're getting points like this, it makes it a little difficult. Drew Brees, disappearing act. Josh Gordon did absolutely nothing. You flip it around to the backside. Jimmy Graham goes missing. Send out the search party. But J.J. Watt came in with big score. Could Pound Town come up with an answer? And in a word, absolutely. Stafford, ODB, and Jamal Charles and Fred Jackson coming up with some big point totals. You flip it around to the backside. Not much to mention there, but it really didn't matter as the Pound Town boys stunned the defending BYB champions, 139 to 99, and now the Cobras are in danger. Flip it around. Here comes the Hail Marys, the inaugural champs, coming to face Charlie Brown's Let Me Kick. Let's take it to the Marys side as we dive in, and Tom Brady comes calling with Arian Foster and Megatron in tow. You flip it around to the backside, and the totals here were a little bit light, except on that defensive side where DeAndre Levy and Harrison Smith and even their kicker gets into the ball game. Could Charlie Brown answer? And in a word, no. Peyton Manning with the worst point total of his career. Bad timing considering Le'Veon Bell came down huge with 47 points. You flip it around, they got a good defensive effort, but that big goose egg by Rashad Johnson really hurt as the Hail Mary seized control and grab a big victory, 127 to 108.5, and we're on to the game of the week presented by Pyrotech. It's the A-Team and the Guild. The A-Team trying to hold on to the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Michael Evans coming in the role of spoiler as we dive inside the point totals. T.Y. Hilton and Jonathan Stewart and Mike Evans combining together to throw out some huge point totals. Flip it around to the backside, and Jermaine Gresham and Mason Crosby combine together to throw the gauntlet out to the A-Team. Could the A-Team come up with an answer? No. Trey Mason and Demaryius Thomas completely disappearing act. You flip it around to the backside, and it didn't get much better other than Quinn coming out there and scoring out big. But it really didn't matter as the Guild stunned the A-Team, 137 to 125.
Hello, BYB Nation. My name is Molly, and welcome to the War Room. Here you will get all the best interviews and analysis during Season 6. Are you ready? Let's go.
War Room kiddies, and it's time to break down the playoff scenarios as we bring in the insanely expensive BYB Insider 6000. He'll break it down as far as the playoff scenario goes. It looks pretty simple for the Sex Panthers with their points forward total. Only thing they got to do is win, and they're in. Breaking it down, right behind them is the Cobra Kai game. Cobra Kai, they got to win and they're in, but pretty much got to make sure that they outscore the UPS by 60 and make sure that the Black Angels don't get over top of them. UPS, they need some help. They need a Panther or a Cobra Kai loss in order for them to get in, and the same for the Black Angels. UPS, Kai, and a Panthers loss, or they outscored either a combination of one of those, and they outscored the UPS by 35 points. So there it is, 4 teams looking for the last playoff spot. Who's going to grab them, and who's going home? It's Week 15, kiddies. Here we go. So here we go, kiddies, Week 15. We start out with Pound Town and Let Me Kick. These two guys looking for some momentum down into the B tourney. We're going to start it off with Let Me Kick, and Charlie Brown came back after Peyton Manning horrible game. Some pretty good totals here from Le'Veon, Peyton, and also Eric Decker. We've got an Eric Decker appearance, but as you flip it around, not much on the backside for Charlie Brown. Could that be trouble, or could Pound Town take advantage? Well, as we look into the first half here, it looks well promising with ODB knocking down 42 points. The other guys coming in pretty good time scores. Flipping around on the backside, Jordan Cameron, not much there, but Clay Matthews, hello, with 12 points, and it will lead to a Pound Town victory as they gather up momentum, 118.5 to 99.5. So we're moving on. The Sex Panthers and the Guild. The Panthers win and they're in, as we said earlier, but standing in their way is the Guild, and the Guild, well, didn't mount much of a challenge. Although Giovanni Bernard came through, I guess, and Ryan Tannehill did all right, but you flip it around and then just not much there for the Guild, and so not much in way of opposition for Larry Dameron. Could Dameron open up the floodgates and walk into the playoffs? You betcha. Thank you, Dez Bryant. 35 points. Ben Roethlisberger acquired in a trade just for this one. 14 points, and you flip it around, and there's where the moneymaker is. Jason Pierre-Paul, 19.5. Kelsey and Kuechly showing up as the Panthers walk in with ease. 134.5 to 84. We're moving on with Boom, Jessica White, and the Black Angels, and we here at Pyrotech have a flair for the dramatic, so we present the game that nobody wanted to win. And we're going to start it off with the Boom Boys, and, oh, God. 1 point for Dalton. Julio's hanging down by the schoolyard with a goose egg. Jordan Matthews with a goose egg. You flip it around, and, Rob Gronkowski tried, but Brent Grimes there with just one, and it was just horrible. You flip it around to the Black Angels side, and could the Angels do any better? Well, no. Aaron Rodgers showing up with his lowest fantasy point total in his career. But Roddy and Jeremy Maclin shows up, and Delaney Walker with his 13 points was just enough to get the Angels over as they back into a win and put the pressure on. 78.5 to 63. So the Angels trying to make their claim to the 4th spot. Standing in their way is UPS, but they had a tall order in Hail Mary who's trying to go for the number 1 seed. We're into the box scores, and Tom Brady and Arian Foster and Randall Cobb delivers. You flip it around to the backside, and it got even better with Antonio Gates. Nice defensive effort there for DeAndre Levy, and Matt Prater came in with 10. Could the UPS answer and knock the Angels off the perch? No. But at least Julian Edelman had 21 and Andrew Luck 17, but LaShawn McCoy and Isaiah Crowell disappeared. You flip it around to the backside, and Jared Cook didn't come up with much of nothing and hardly anything on the defensive side, and it leads to disaster for the 2014 champs. They're officially eliminated, 111 to 80. You flip it around, and here's the A-team and the 3-and-outs, Mark Muncy and Josh Workman, once again, the bitter rivalry. But the 3-and-outs wasn't going to let the A-team walk into the number 1 seed unchecked as Matt Ryan and Eddie Lacy came through with some nice-looking scores. You flip it around on the backside, it's Martellus Bennett and Connor Baldwin coming up, but yet another goose egg for Cortez Allen. You think maybe Mark would understand. Would it end up hurting him? You flip it around, and it didn't look so there at the beginning. Johnny Manziel, Mr. Moneymaker himself, in his BYB debut, a -2. You flip him around, though, and it's Levante David, the defensive back, made all the difference in the world, and the A-team punched the number 1 seed out as they slipped by the out. 98.5 to 96.5, and we're to the game of the week presented by Pyrotech. It's the Cobra Kai trying to grab the 4th seed and defend the titles, but standing in their way is the Mud Dogs as we're in the box scores. And Tommy Quick came to play. Hello, DeMarco Murray, 21 points. Mike Wallace matched that. Vincent Jackson coming from the dead for 13 points. You flip it around. Greg Olson again, 21 points. And Julius Pepper and Eric Weddle laying down some good scores. Could it be that the Cobra Kais will not be able to defend? Wrong. Drew Brees, 33 points. Marshawn checking in with 16. The rest of the guys look a little light, but as you flip it around, it's superstar Jimmy Graham with 13 points. And JJ Watt back again with 14.5. And the Cobras punched the 4th seed, 120.5 to 115.5. So now, kiddies, the playoffs is set. We know who's in, and we know who's packing it up. So it's time to go over the playoff matchups that's going to make up for the A bracket tournament. First up, it's the 3 versus 4 matchup as Jacob Workman brings his Hail Mary Ball Club to face Larry Dameron and the Sex Panthers. Should be an awesome contest here. On the other side, it's the 1 versus 4 matchup. Josh Workman and his A-team heading south, not doing so well, but can they rectify the issue, or will the defending BYB champion Jared Taylor and his Cobra Kai gang, who slipped through on the last day to get in, will they make a monumental upset and trash Josh's dream of yet another championship? And the other matchups, as you can see going down the screen here on the BYB Insider 5000, as he will break it down, should be a great playoff contest as everybody is scrambling to get their finish positions in order.
Hello, big guy.
Yes, Molly.
Incoming message.
You have an incoming transmission from whom?
I'm not for certain, but I think it's you.
So, no guest this week, big guy? Sorry about that. I had to crash the party. You know what? It's Brian Bazin of the Black Angels, and I got a little challenge of my own to throw out. So, over the past few weeks, I've heard this "we're taking over" mantra coming through. Well, I've got a little taking over mantra of my own. I've got this little challenge I would like to issue to one Samantha Bazin in Out for Blood. She wants the show. Of course, the BYB's been in control of the show. I say let's put it all on the line. Her Out for Blood team versus my BYB team. That's Kicking Up Dust versus the Black Angels in Week 17. The challenge is out, little girl. You want to throw down? Here's the Skippy. You win, you get it all. The Black Angels and the BYB Insider belong to you. Do with it whatever you will. However, if I win, the BYB Insider stays the same and we never hear from you again. Simple enough. That's the challenge. Big guy, it's all up to her. Let's see what she's got. So there it is, folks. The challenge laid out by Brian Bazin, who came up short, but he's not going to be counted out as he's putting everything on the line for the show and for the league. He's going to represent. He's thrown it out. Will Samantha Bazin answer? We'll find that out next week. This episode, though, we're done. We're out of here. We'll see you next week.